Right now it's time to get our legal analyst Greg Isaac's take on cases in the headlines. Greg, as always, great to have you here.
Bo, it's great to be here.
Story getting a lot of attention right now. International travel can be complicated, even more so in this era of COVID-19. One person who found that out firsthand, #1 tennis player in the world, superstar Novak Djokovic, found out, goes to Australia to play in the Australian Open, then gets sent back home because, well, he didn't meet all the criteria that Australia said he needed to be in that country.
Bo, it's interesting, as science races to catch up to answers for the new COVID variant Omicron, the law is racing to catch up to people that are gaming the system. Djokovic, a good example of people that try to get in a different country based on exceptions. He thought he had a medical exception not to be vaccinated, got there, and the country, Australia, said absolutely not. One thing that's important to remember about that case, not whether he had one, didn't have one, but he was detained. If you travel abroad and you don't meet their criteria, you can be detained for having a fake vaccination passport, fake test results, or in his situation, a difference of opinion about a medical exemption.
And it really just goes to show every place is going to be different. He was deported. Other places, like you said, it could be jail time. Even here in the United States, we've seen situations.
Yeah, and what we're seeing is prosecutors clamping down. State to state, country to country. In South Carolina, a nurse was recently arrested for creating and selling fake vaccination passports, looking at 15 years. New York, an individual arrested creating fake vaccination passports and then being brilliant enough to sell them online, mentioning they were safe. And the flip side, people are creating fake positive test results not to go to court. Hawaii, one of our beautiful states, has a 10-day quarantine requirement. Individuals are being arrested for providing fake passports, fake test results, and instead of being quarantined in a luxury suite for 10 days, they're in jail facing 11 months and 29 days.
And we should also point out, you weren't trying to beat the system, so we want to clarify this, but you were out of the country, just so happened though COVID got the best of you. When you were out of the country, you found out what it was like to be I guess, quarantined outside the U.S. and then trying to get back to the U.S.
Well, I have a first-hand take on what happens. Christmas present to the family. We decided it was safe to go back in the water, that pandemics were over or calmed down. By the time we had booked the trip, Omicron traveled halfway around the world, and my wife and I tested positive and were immediately locked in a room in the Bahamas. Testing was very infrequent. To get out of that country, like many others, you have to test negative. People can tell you firsthand it can take a while to test negative. And you can't travel. You can't re-enter the United States without a positive test. Called my favorite congressman here, no help. Called the embassy in the Bahamas, no one would pick up. So when you travel internationally, just know if you try to game the system with false documents, you can go to jail, and they're very serious. And just know if you test positive, they are serious about lockdowns. We here in the United States are on an honor system. They are on the listen to what I say system.
Yeah, you're in their court. You're their home. You got to play by their rules. So we got to keep that in mind.
It's like Thompson Bowling.
Great to have you back, by the way.
Good to be here.